What's going on, guys? Pdaaaawg here, and welcome to my very first P Vlawg in like 5 million years. I might do a few more of these. I've had a few ideas rummaging around in my head, but this one I've had for quite a long time. I've had it since what was probably my last P Vlawg, which was my game collection. But as you can see, I'm in a brand new angle. Look at this. Never even seen this side. What's kind of interesting is that this camera, I don't have a tripod anymore, so it's stacked on a few books, so apologies if it's a bit bootleg setup. But the camera used to be here, and that's where the tripod was, and I was sort of pointing at the TV from way back when. But we're not here to talk about that, we're here to talk about my DVD collection. And first of all, that's not an outright lie, it's not my DVD collection, it's actually, the majority of it's my brother's. Some of it's mine, but the majority is my brother's, but so I can't exactly take all the credit for spending all my money on all these DVDs, but there's some of my favourite. I have watched a good lot of them, and I'll give you some feedback about them. We're going to go over the actual DVDs that I pretty much like. I'm going to give a little rundown as to what I think about them and why I think they're pretty good. Some of them are like my, some stuff that I like. So we start off with this pile here. We've got 3 piles, so you probably don't see them, but start off just in this. I don't know what's coming, but here we go. We've got the Expendables, first of all. I thought it was pretty good whenever I seen it. Like, I think I've seen it in the cinemas, and I thought it was pretty decent. It's a pretty, the movie knows what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a ridiculous action film with all these crazy stars in it that have been in all kinds of action films, and that's exactly what it is. I don't have Expendables 2. I haven't even seen Expendables 2. I think my dad might have it, but I might lend it from at some point. And I will be going to see Expendables 3 later this year, so hopefully it's pretty much the same thing, because that's all you want to go see. Les Miserables, whatever you want to call it. Les Mis, pretty much. I'm not gonna lie, I really did enjoy this movie when I seen it in cinemas. And a lot of people criticise they're always singing the entire thing, but I mean, I thought that was kind of like the charm of it. And I don't care what you say, Russell Crowe, I think he did pretty good as Javert. I thought he was pretty good. His voice is very different, that's why I liked it. So, Les Mis is there. I really did enjoy that movie. I've seen it twice now. Sherlock Holmes. I actually seen, here's a Game of Shadows as well, actually right beside each other. I actually seen both these movies before I seen the Sherlock BBC TV series, which blows any Sherlock out of the park, pretty much. Any modern Sherlock adaptation, I mean. But I still enjoy these movies, these Sherlock ones. I think they're pretty entertaining. Robert Downey Jr. is not a very good British accent, but a pretty good Sherlock Holmes, I'd say. So I thought they were pretty interesting. I guess I like 1 better than 2 just for the general film, but the second one I think does have a better antagonist than Moriarty, and I wasn't a fan of Mark Strong's villain. I don't even remember his name, that's how bad it was. War of the Worlds, Tom Cruise film. Was this Steven Spielberg directed this? I forgot about that. I don't mind this film. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a pretty big fan of Tom Cruise. I don't think I have many of his DVDs, but I don't mind him as an actor. I think he's pretty good. But I thought the movie was alright, I suppose. It's not amazing. Now this is kind of weird. We have 2 out of the 3 Lord of the Rings trilogies. I haven't seen I haven't sat through all of the Lord of the Rings 1, 2, 3. I've seen like bits of the majority of them. I think I've seen the most of the Fellowship of the Ring, and then you got the 2 Towers, but we don't have Return of the King. It's kind of weird. So here are the 2 Lord of the Rings. We do have their 2-disc special editions, both of them. My brother was a diehard 2-disc special edition. Same with this again. Those are my brother's DVDs, of course. Some of the modern ones are mine. American Pie. Pretty safe bet to have this here. It's a pretty entertaining comedy. It's like one of the big American comedies of the 90s. I think it's pretty entertaining, at least. We're gonna kind of cheat a bit here, and I'm gonna talk about 2 TV box sets I have here. The first one, we were just talking about them, Sherlock BBC DVD collection. I love the Sherlock, honestly. I don't have Series 3, but that's only because I wasn't a big fan of Series 3 when it came out of Sherlock. But Series 1 was brilliant, Series 2 was just as good for the most part. Series 1 had some pretty good episodes. Episode 1 was very good, and Episode 3 was very good. Episode 2 was meh. Series 2, Episode 1 was very good. I wasn't a big fan of the final episode, but and the Series 3, the final episode of Series 3 was very good, but the other 2 were, especially Series 3, Episode 2, the flipping wedding, not a big fan of it. And this is kind of weird. This is kind of, you don't really understand what's going on. You'll probably recognise it here. This is Doctor Who Series 2 box set. This comes with some pretty nice artwork on both of them. I actually used to be such a big Doctor Who fanatic. There you go, look at all this, is nuts. I used to be quite a big Doctor Who fanatic whenever it first started. I think I liked the first 3 series I really enjoyed. Christopher Eccleston, I can't remember his name, and David Tennant Doctors were pretty good. I didn't watch a lot of the Catherine Tate companion series, But I enjoyed what I seen, at least, you know. I thought it was pretty good. But then whenever Matt Smith came in, I was like, not a big fan. But series 2 I think was probably the best series of Doctor Who in my opinion, because everything just kind of came together and had some very good episodes. Quentin Tarantino box set is comes with his first 3 movies. I'm pretty sure it's first 3 movies. That's Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction and Jackie Brown. Let me see if I can try and get them. Here's just, I'm just going to show off the boxes individually if I can even get them open. Pretty tight squeeze in here. Whoops. Reservoir Dogs Special Edition. Oh yeah, they're all 2-disc special editions actually. Yeah, there you go. There's Reservoir Dogs. Pretty good film, of course. Pulp Fiction, one of my favourite films. I mean, of course it's one of your favourite films. Pulp Fiction, how can you not like it? And there's Jackie Brown. I've never actually seen Jackie Brown before, if you can believe it. I have the Quentin Tarantino box set, but I haven't seen Jackie Brown. But you don't really hear much, but you always hear about these two. You always hear about Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, and also, of course, Kill Bill, and now his more recent ones like Inglourious and Django Unchained, 2 of which I really enjoyed both of them as well. Don't have them on DVD, but I have seen them, and they're very good. Quentin Tarantino, of course, brilliant director. Now this one upsets me because it's Terminator 3. I had Terminator 2, which is my favourite action film of all time because it's just everything that you need. I didn't like this movie. I don't even know why it's here. I mean, Schwarzenegger did good with what he had, but this stall, no. And the final 2 and the first, I've got 3 pals here. The final 2 are King Kong, the 2004 or so remix. Remix? What the flip? Remake of the original 1930s, 40s? I'm not sure when this is, 20s perhaps? I don't think it's 20s, but the original 2, or the original and the remake. So I think it's pretty, I think they're pretty nice. I've never actually seen the original one, if you can believe it. I have it on DVD. Digitally remastered it says, and this one I have seen and I think it's pretty decent, although Jack Black's a bit wonky, but I don't mind him. I think he could have been much worse, let's put it that way. Alright, starting off with pile number 2, we have Jackass the movie. I really enjoy Jackass, especially the movies, like the third movie that they came out with, the 3D one. Oh, it's mindless fun, but you can't not like it, that's the main point of it. Aliens. I don't have Alien. I don't like horror films, because it's not a horror film, it's an action film. James Cameron, one of the good movies he made. Same with Terminator, Terminator 2. 2 of Cameron's really good movies. It's a real shame that flipping Avatar crap. Anyway, so Aliens, I think it's pretty good. I do enjoy it. Again, Gangs in New York, Martin Scorsese, Daniel Day-Lewis, my favourite actor. Oh, Bill the Butcher, man, what a crazy character. Cameron Diaz, not a big fan of Cameron Diaz, but everyone else is really good. You got flipping a lot of good Irish actors. You got Liam Neeson in here. You got what's his name? Brendan Gleeson is in here as well. It's in a pretty fundamental role. You got some other really good actors there. You got John C. Reilly. You got obviously DiCaprio. You got Jim Broadbent's in this flipping movie. He does a really good American accent. But I do enjoy Gangs in New York. I think that's the only Scorsese movie I have here, which is very upsetting. Flip me. Up next we got Super Size Me, the only documentary I have. I remember watching this when I was younger and I was like, oh, I'm never eating McDonald's ever again. I hate it, it's dreadful. But I do think it's a pretty well made documentary. It's pretty shocking some of the stuff that happens to him. Basically a guy spends a whole month eating nothing but McDonald's. It's a pretty good documentary. Hot Shots Part 2, because Part 2 is much better than Part 1. Oh, this is such a good movie, honestly. Like, this is one of my favourite comedies. It's just so ridiculous and like off the wall insane, and you got some ridiculous like the slapstick in this movie just taken to a whole new level because of how. Look at the front cover. Charlie Sheen has got a flipping chicken in a flipping crossbow. Not even a crossbow, just a bow and arrow. How could you not like Hot Shots Part 2? Austin Powers and Goldmember. I don't have any of the other Austin Powers films, but I have seen them. I only have Goldmember on DVD. I don't even know why, but I really do enjoy this movie. A lot of people think this is the least funny Austin Powers movie. I'm not sure. I do really like this movie, surprisingly. I can't believe Michael Caine did it though, that's pretty nuts, but it's still really good. And then Beyonce, a much better actress than Rihanna. Rihanna, what the fuck are you doing? Rihanna, stick to your music. Anyway, Mel Brooks, Robin Hood Men in Tights, another really good comedy film. For me, it's not as good as Hot Shots, but I do see why it's like one of the most famous comedies, you know, of all time. I also have another Mel Brooks comedy in here. You'll see probably. I think it's in the third pile. Yeah. So not really much to say about that. Tonight we dine in hell. That was the worst flippin' Leonidas impression ever. But here's 300. I mean, how do you not like this film? It's flipping 300. Look at the abs on Gerard Butler. Oh my goodness, this guy's nuts. It's ridiculous. How much working out do you have to do to get abs like that? 300. I think it's pretty good. Rise of an Empire is... Don't even talk to me about that movie. I don't really know. And on Twitter, originally I liked it, and after a while I realised just how crap it is. Anyway, the 007 Daniel Craig collection. This comes with Casino Royale, some other movie, and Skyfall. So they're pretty good. Once again, the DVDs are in here. You go Skyfall. You go and you go Casino Royale. There you go. For a long time, I really did think Skyfall was my favourite Bond movie, and after thinking about it, Casino Royale, honestly, like the first time I watched it, I was just like, such a good action movie. It's like, it's not like Skyfall's a good Bond movie, but Casino Royale's a really good action movie. Brilliant, honestly. Scary Movie. I don't mind this film. Like, Scary Movie is pretty funny, I suppose. I quite like Scary Movie 3 as well. Scary Movie 2, I've never actually seen it. But Scary Movie 1, the one that started it all, it's pretty interesting. It's pretty nice. It's not like absolutely laugh out loud hilarious, but I do think it's pretty good. Here's a collection of DVDs I think everyone should own, and that's the Godfather trilogy. How could you not have it? This comes with 4 DVDs. It comes with Godfather 1, 2, 3, and the Special Edition, yes, brilliant. The Special Edition DVD. Obviously, it's Godfather. I don't have to mention anything more. Obviously, Part 3 is bleh. iRobot, Will Smith. Pretty decent action movie. It's nothing too spectacular. It's Will Smith being badass Will Smith. This is the period of badass Will Smith when you had like I Am Legend was also around this time. What else? Hancock. What else? There's another really big Will Smith action movie. You had Bad Boys as well. Flipping Michael Bay. Sheesh. But apart from that, it's fine. Oh, another one of my favourite comedies, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. This is the only Monty Python DVD I have. I really like Life of Brian as well. Meaning of Life, alright. But I really like the Holy Grail. Rocky. How could you not like Rocky as well? Won Sylvester Stallone Oscars galore, I think. I'm pretty sure he did. He didn't win an acting Oscar, of course, but he won it for like writing or something. But anyway, yeah, so Rocky, obviously big triumphant boxer story. Pretty good, obviously. You know, nothing really else to say about Rocky. And again, special edition DVD. Donnie Darko. Oh, I really like this movie. This is one of my favourite movies, Donnie Darko. Jake Gyllenhaal, and quite an early-ish role. Plays a really, does really good in the film in general. You got flipping Frank. Look at Frank in the background. Oh, and he's on the front cover as well. A really good psychological, like weird movie. Like it's a movie you have to see more than once, honestly, because it doesn't all really come together. It's all about like time loops and stuff. Oh, it's ridiculous. I haven't seen it in quite a while. I might have to rewatch it at some point. So I was rewatching Gangs of New York, so I might have to rewatch that at some point. Shrek. I think this is the only animated film I have, unless I went over any there. I don't think I have, but this might be the only animation movie I have. But I think it's really good. I did enjoy it whenever I was a kid. I remember whenever I was a kid watching it for the first time, and I thought it was hilarious. Lone Survivor, probably the most recent DVD I'd have here, I think, because this released in like 2014. Do you know something? I haven't even seen it. I'm gonna have to watch it at some point. Apparently it's pretty good. I mean, I had a mixed feeling between them. Oh yes, Olympus Has Fallen. I really enjoyed this movie. I've seen this in a cinema, in a huge cinema, with like a flipping 2-litre like thing of Fanta. It was, I don't even know how they can fit it in the cup holder, but it did. This is such a badass action movie. It's much better than that flipping crap White House Down. It's flipping girl waving the American flag. Whatever. That movie annoyed me. This movie did not. It was like flipping Die Hard in the White House. This is much better than White House Down in my opinion. Oh, people were always like, oh, they're both alright. No, this movie was pretty good. Like for an action movie, it was really good. White House Down can go find a better story. X-Men 1.5, aka X-Men 1 with special edition DVDs. It's a classic X-Men film. I wasn't actually a big fan of X-Men 1 when I first watched it. I thought flipping, what's her name? Anna. The girl's in True Blood, whatever the heck her name is. She won an Oscar when she was like 5. But I thought she was pretty bad in that movie, but whatever. Hugh Jackman is Wolverine, that's all you need. And Patrick Stewart, and Ian McKellen, and like everyone else in that movie. There it is, Blazing Saddles, Mel Brooks. Haven't even seen it. Dreadful, isn't it? Dread. Spider-Man 2, once again, never even seen it. How ridiculous is that? I've seen bits of Spider-Man 1, and Spider-Man 3 is just emo Peter Parker, that's all I have to say. Saw, I didn't see this movie for a very long time, and then I did, and I kind of regretted it because I don't think it's very good. Honestly, I think it's just torture porn, to be honest. I just don't really get it. And also because I kind of knew the plot twist from a while back. Man on fire. Denzel Washington on a rampage. Flipping Christopher Walken and stuff all over the show. Oh, it was ridiculous. And there's what, is that Dakota Fanning? I'm pretty sure it is. Yes it is, Dakota Fanning, before she was like 20, wherever age she is now. I've got another Godfather DVD, so if anyone wants it, Godfather, I'll happily lend it to you. That's pretty much, for anyone that hasn't seen Godfather, here you go, here's a DVD for it. X-Men 2, I haven't even seen it. I haven't seen 2 X-Men films, excluding Days of Future Past. I haven't seen The Last Stand, and I haven't seen X-Men 2. I've seen First Class, I've seen 1, and I've seen flippin' stupid Wolverine Origins movie, and I did see The Wolverine as well. Sin City, pretty amazing action movie with Bruce Willis and all kinds of crazy characters in it. It'll be interesting to see where they go with what's the Sin City sequel called? It's like it's got Damned and City and stuff. I can't even remember what it's called. This movie is weird. I mean, obviously it went nuts at the Oscars, 11 Academy Awards, but I don't know what to think of it. On the one hand, it's a pretty, visual Marvel masterpiece, crazy thing, but James Cameron does not know how to write a good story. It isn't completely cliched crap. Honestly, they just... I mean, obviously hey, it's Titanic, it's gonna sink, but you don't have to intertwine the most ridiculous... So here, watch flippin', what's it called? Everything Wrong with Titanic. Oh, they rip into it, I love it. Mask of Zorro, flippin' Antonio Banderas, and Anthony Hopkins. Haven't seen it. I don't know, I've heard of this film, but I never really knew what all the hoopla was about. We're almost done, by the way, we got to know. Bend It Like Beckham. I really did enjoy this movie. This is one of my brother's favourite films, and I really enjoy it as well. If you want to see Keira Knightley in one of her first acting jobs, I'm pretty sure it is. It's a very British Indian film, but it's mostly British, but it tackles football, and it tackles like the Indian culture and stuff, and I think it's a pretty good mix. And also the main actress in it is actually pretty decent, even though you've never seen her again, I don't think. I ain't never heard of her. Alright, okay, I wanna do one DVD after the other here, because it's pretty interesting. Dawn of the Dead. I really liked this movie, especially after playing Dead Rising. I was like, this movie is brilliant because it's pretty much Dead Rising the movie. Although this came before Dead Rising, but I played Dead Rising before I seen this movie. But, I love Dawn of the Dead, honestly, it's brilliant. And I mean, people say it's not as good as the original. I didn't like the original, I really didn't like it. I thought this was much better, and I don't even know why. I just thought it was, for what it's worth, it was so good, honestly. And of course, what better to go after Dawn of the Dead than Shaun of the Dead? One of my favourite comedies. Not as good as the other movie that came out after this in the Cornetto trilogy, Blood and Ice Cream trilogy, whatever you want to call it. Hot Fuzz. That's my favourite comedy movie of all time. There's so many jokes in that piled on. This is still a really good addition in that trilogy. It's like you got flipping Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, you got Bill Nye, you got all of the people, like really good British comedic actors, all doing their stuff. Edgar Wright, one of my favourite directors. Very sad he isn't directing Ant-Man, because I would have actually seen that film if it was directed by him. But he's a really good director. Also, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, it's very good. He directed that. But yeah, it's Shaun of the Dead, really good, like really cool like zombie movies and stuff. Say hello, my little friend. I can't do impressions to save my life, honestly. But here you go, Scarface. Nothing really to say about this. It is Scarface, Obviously, it's really good. It's pretty ridiculous. As you see, it's another 2-disc special edition. That movie is pretty nuts. Final 2, I think. Yep, Final 2. We got Bean, which is the movie adaptation of the Mr. Bean TV series. Mr. Bean's probably one of my favourite comedic TV shows. The movie is alright, like a lot of people don't like it and I can understand why. You got flippin', I didn't even realise this until recently, you got flippin' Burt Reynolds is in this movie. What the flip, Burt Reynolds is in a Bean movie? I never would have guessed. The main guy looks a bit like flippin', what's his name, Paul Rudd. Like the guy alongside Rowan Atkinson, like the American guy, looks a bit like Paul Rudd. He's not Paul Rudd, unfortunately. But that's how I always thought. Like whenever I see this movie now, it's like, I think it's Paul Rudd, but it's not really. But that's Burt Reynolds, and that is Burt Reynolds. Flip me. Otherwise, this movie's pretty good, I suppose. I mean, I like it, but a lot of people didn't.